What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. Tonight is the Loki Season 2 finale. And from what we've heard, it is going to drastically affect the MCU. Obviously, Loki Season 2 is about the multiverse and the TVA being in charge of the multiverse and whether or not they are pruning timelines to simply keep it at one sacred timeline, one multiverse, or if Loki is in charge and he gets his way with the rest of his friends, they let the universe branch and we get a multiverse. The only question is, what happens after that? What happens when different universes start to breed different variants of Kang? They discover time travel, multiversal travel, and want to conquer the multiverse themselves. The funny thing is it's already happened. We've seen that happen in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. In the post-credit scene, they showed us the Council of Kangs, and they showed us the thousands and really infinite variants of Kangs that exist right now who want to take over the multiverse. Now, the finale tonight, we kind of know what's actually going to happen because Marvel Studios confirmed what we already thought with their new trailer that they released today. They also released the opening scene, kind of. Half of it is really the Marvel Studios logo, and then half of it is a little bit of what we're going to see in the first, let's say, 30 seconds of the episode. Glad they're not spoiling too much. However, they did reveal a very important scene for the finale today that we're going to break down, and then we'll go over our theories for what is going to happen in the Loki finale tonight. Also, big reminder, if you want to enter our giveaway for a chance to win a PS5, an Xbox Series X, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on our videos. The winner picks one item and we pick one winner at the end of each month. Now, the opening scene that they showed us today basically picks up immediately right where the last episode leaves off. But it also picks up where episode 4 left off because remember, time travel. It picks up right where Victor Timely says it's time to be brave and he heads down the stairs to put on the suit to go out where he would ultimately die. However, right as he's going down, Loki time slips back in time to that exact moment. We see this here very briefly in this clip. If you look closely, you can see Loki time slip back to this moment.
Time to be brave.
Good luck.
Time to be brave.
Now combine this scene with the very first line in the trailer that Marvel Studios released today for the Loki season finale, where Loki says, "What could we have done differently?" This confirms that Loki is basically going to be in an Ouroboros right now. Not the person, but the actual symbol of the snake eating its own tail. He'll basically be stuck in a time loop with the same event repeating itself, but it's intentional and he's not exactly stuck. Loki is going to continue to go back in time until they figure out a way to where Victor Timely does not die, to where no one dies if they go out there, to fix the time loom getting exposed to temporal energy. Loki now has the ability to control his time slipping, so what's going to happen is that Loki is going to tell everybody what happened. What their plan is currently doesn't work because Loki has already lived through it. He knows that Victor Timely gets spaghettified. He knows he dies. So he's going to tell them they have to change something. Something is wrong. What is wrong? What could we have done differently? Then they're going to change it. Then they're going to test it and most likely fail again. Then Loki's going to time slip back and say, hey, we just tried this. It didn't work. We also tried this the first time. It didn't work either. What else do you got? What could we have done differently? And then he's going to do it again, probably fail again, go back in the past and say, all right, now we've tried these things. It doesn't work. What else can we do? And he will do this as many times as he needs until ultimately they figure out how to make it work. Now, we've also seen scenes of Loki walking out on the bridge in the temporal energy himself with no suit on. But keep in mind, Loki is a god. He is different than anyone else at the TVA because they are normal humans. Loki is a lot stronger and his body can probably take the temporal energy better than anybody else's, even without a suit. So ultimately, we believe that Loki is going to be the one to go out to the temporal loom and fix it. But of course, that is not all of the finale. Marvel has confirmed something huge. He who remains is going to return. We can see so in this scene right here. It's very quick, but we can see Loki and Sylvie fighting, and Loki throws his sword at He Who Remains and it is stopped. Now, I have a theory on who stops it. We'll get into that, but first, big thank you to Highland Titles for sponsoring this video. Before we leap back into the world of superpowers, I've got something truly extraordinary for our noble listeners. Imagine that you, yes you, can become a lord or lady for just $30. Buying a plot of land from highlandtitles.com will allow you to make use of a Scottish tradition in which landowners are given a courtesy title. With more than 15,000 five-star reviews, the Highland Titles gift pack is an incredibly popular gift, and the Highland Titles app, available from the app and Play stores, is a new addition that allows you to explore a 3D replica of the land. Choose the location of your plot and decorate it using augmented reality. Embrace the majesty, as every purchase helps to conserve the awe-inspiring, heroic beauty of the Scottish wilderness. You can soar into the world of nobility, my friends, by visiting highlandtitles.com and become a lord or lady today. Use the discount code COSMIC to receive 25% off your order. That's highlandtitles.com and use code COSMIC. So as we have been guessing and theorizing, He Who Remains is going to return. Kind of. What's really going to happen is that Loki is going to time slip back to the part from the Loki season 1 finale where they go into the Citadel and they meet He Who Remains. And from here, we believe what we've been theorizing this whole entire time is going to play out. He Who Remains is going to reveal that this was all a part of his plan. Him dying in the season finale, the timeline branching, Loki time slipping, going back in time over and over again to finally fix the time loom, and even Victor Timely is going to all be a part of his plan. In fact, we know Victor Timely was a part of his plan. We learned that in episode 3. Miss Minutes told us that it was He Who Remains' plans to give the TVA guidebook to Victor Timely. So Victor Timely is a part of He Who Remains' plan. The only question now is, will Victor be good or will he actually turn bad, like He Who Remains plans? Now, in this particular scene where Loki is throwing his sword at He Who Remains and it gets stopped, I believe that it's probably stopped by He Who Remains. And I believe that time is going to get a little muddy in the season finale, because I think the way He Who Remains comes back to life is by Loki time slipping to the past and changing it to where He Who Remains doesn't actually die. Now, I know time is already a little bit confusing in the MCU. We learned in Avengers Endgame that changing the past does not change the future. However, Loki has kind of contradicted some time rules a little bit. They even contradicted the time rules of the TVA, but that's kind of explained by time slipping. Even OB, who seems to know almost everything about the TVA, said it should be impossible, yet Loki has been doing it. And I believe, or at least I should say I hope, we do get an explanation of why Loki has been time slipping, why it was possible, and I still believe that it is because Sylvie kicked him through the door that He Who Remains' temp pad opened. When she took He Who Remains' temp pad and opened the door and kicked Loki through it, I believe that is what caused the time slipping, and I believe that was a part of He Who Remains' plan. If you rewatch the Loki season 1 finale, you can see that He Who Remains takes off the temp pad off of his wrists and pushes it to the very edge of the desk right near Loki and Sylvie. I believe this was super intentional. I believe that he knew Sylvie was going to take it. I believe that he still knew everything that was going to happen and that he did indeed lie when he said he didn't know what was going to come next. I believe he had a plan and probably did see what was coming next, and if he didn't see it, he still probably had a plan and was still manipulating everything, all for Loki to come back in this moment, even after he died, to bring him back in a weird technical time loop way. Like I said, it's probably going to get a little bit muddy, but he is going to return in this episode. Marvel Studios has confirmed this. The only question is, why? Why did he do everything that he did in Loki season 1 and the Loki season 1 finale? There are a ton of theories out there, but one that I really like is quite simple. He was bored. Let me explain this for a second. In Loki season 1 and the finale, we met a He Who Remains who was King the Conqueror before in the past. He conquered everything, he won the multiversal war, and then he ruled the TVA. And who knows how long he had done that for, but we know that at the end he said he was older than he looks, and he was tired. But what if in reality he was actually bored of ruling a peaceful TVA where there's really nothing to do? Nathaniel Richards, aka King the Conqueror, is in his heart, at his core, a conqueror. Hence why the entire multiversal war was started by the variants of Nathaniel Richards. It was all the Kang variants who started the multiversal war. It wasn't Kang and some other people, it was the Kang variants. So what if He Who Remains had been He Who Remains for too long and missed conquering, missed the feeling of being a conqueror and wanted to essentially reset everything? Well, perhaps this was his way of doing this. And why did he need Loki and Sylvie to do everything with the TVA and the time loom and Victor Timely? Well, perhaps it was because of the time loom. Perhaps he needed the time loom to be able to manage all of these other timelines, to have the multiverse. Perhaps he needed all of this to happen just so the time loom could handle the multiverse. And now that Loki is about to fix it and he's about to return, could he return for good and begin conquering again? Because we know the multiversal war is what we are going into in Deadpool 3, in Kang Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars. And tonight we're going to find out why everything is happening. So let us know how excited you are and drop your best theories in the comments down below of how you think the finale is going to end and why He Who Remains did everything. Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming Loki videos. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Woof woof.